Mo time! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, it's that time of the day again where we feed your mind with a little bit of positivity. That's it's not always positive, but it's always constructive. So, we talk about business, we talk about self-development and fitness and all that good looking, good stuff. It's just a good looking channel. It's a good channel. And today we're talking about business. More specifically, we are talking about starting a business. Even more specifically than already specified, we are talking about the vehicle that you choose. That is I'd like stretch my eyes a little bit. That's the vehicle that you choose. That is, what's the industry you want to go into? What field, what type of a business are you starting? Because a lot of people, they choose the wrong vehicle and they are doomed before they ever even start. So, you've probably heard this a lot of times in your life. Every single time you're like, I don't know what to do with my life, some wannabe wise person pops out and is like, listen, man, all you need to do is find something that you love, and then you will never work a day in your life. Oh my God, all I need to do is like smoke weed and play video games all day long, and I'll never work a day in my life. Yeah. Might also not make any money either. Here's the problem with the whole do what you love strategy. People may not give a crap about what you love. Now maybe they do, right? So let me give me a little example. Give me a little example. So, in the early 2000s, there was, I think it was on the revamped Gong Show, and I believe Howard Stern was the judge, or one of the judges, and whoever it was, there was this dude, the contestant, and he played the wine glasses. You know, like the top, there's like water in the wine glasses, and you make music, whatever it is, right? It was like super good. You're like, wow, this guy's really good. And then... And then Howard Stern said something that I'm like, okay. So he said, obviously I'm paraphrasing, I can't remember what it was, but it was something to the extent of, that was amazing what you just did. I mean, it was so good. Imagine if you would have put that time and all that dedication into something that people actually care about. I'm like, damn, truth hurts sometimes, doesn't it? You're the #1 wine music glass player in the world, and you know it's like, okay, so what do you actually do for a living, right? Kind of like one of those things. You're the #1 basketball player in the world, right? You're probably earning 8 figures plus. So you need to be brutally honest with yourself and ask, hey, can I actually make enough money to satisfy me? Now, exactly how much money everyone needs is different. I'm not going to tell you how much money you need to make. But if you say to myself, okay, I want to make at least $500,000 a year, can you make that doing what you're doing? You might be the best wine glass top player in the world. You're not going to make $500K. But if you're the best basketball player in the world, right? It's the same thing, but it's different. It's just a different vehicle. So in one type of a business, maybe you're, okay, I want to start a brick and mortar thing, but I live in a town of 1,000 people. Probably doomed to failure. But if you're going, okay, I live in this small city, but I want to do something, I want to try to sell this product online. Well, if it's a physical thing, you're gonna have to outsource anything because you're not gonna have the manpower and I'm getting too specific. You get the point I'm trying to say. You got to make sure that what you want to do, there's enough money to get into it. You also want to try to pay attention to how long it will take. Different types of industries and businesses grow at different speeds. Obviously, we all know the internet is a type of industry where you can get, tens of millions of users for your app or website or whatever it is, and you can have explosive growth that isn't really plausible in the real world, but it can happen online. So if you want a certain type of explosive growth, you almost have to do it on the internet. But if you're comfortable with a little bit more time and you have a little bit more capital, then you can still do things in the real world, because capital will also help fuel that growth. Capital is another thing we need to talk about when it comes to choosing the right vehicle. Let's say you want to start a restaurant, but you have no money. Do you see a problem here? Let's say you love solar energy and you want to start a solar power plant, but you have no money. Do you see a problem here? There are capital-intensive industries, and then there are time-intensive industries. So let's go to the two major extremes. To the major extreme of a capital-intensive industry would be investing, passive investing. So not like a hedge fund, but let's say you just invest in like bonds or medium to high yield large cap companies. Okay. So if you if you just park $10 million in a kind of a blue chip company that's going to pay you a dividend of, let's say 4%, or you can average, maybe it's 2.5% with a 1.5% average annual growth rate, right? So you can maybe get a 4% return on your money. If you're parking $10 million, well, that's $400,000 a year you're bringing in for like zero work. Okay, once you invest in that company, okay, you want to do a little bit of, research in the company, make sure it's still going well. But relatively speaking, you're doing close to no work, and you're bringing in a lot of money. You're bringing in $400,000 a year. Not only that, it's taxed at capital gains rate, so it's even better. That is a capital-intensive industry. If you're broke, if you have no money, you can't do that. Or at least it's a totally different type of a way that you do that. Now, on the flip side, we have a time-intensive industry, something where you can't really buy anything with money. It's only, so most creative things, right? If you are an artist, a writer, an actor, kind of stuff like that, where they're creative in nature and you're selling kind of intellectual property and whatnot, it's difficult to buy that with money. If you are writing a book, literally, a homeless person can walk into a library and for free use a computer with internet access and a word processor all day long, or at least for 8 hours or whatever, in an air-conditioned place with cold, clean water and a bathroom. A homeless person can do it for free. And he or she can write a book and self-publish it for free himself. That is a time-intensive industry. And that's what I got into, because when I started, I didn't have any money. So I said, okay, there are a couple different businesses. I think I could make a pretty kick-ass online dating app. I think there are some issues with the current dating apps. I think there are ways that I could make a superior product, a more compelling product. I'm not wasting any time. I'm not losing any sleep because I know I don't have the capital. I mean, you're talking millions of dollars. I mean, I'm not even talking the development of I'm just saying in advertising alone, we're talking millions of dollars. And I am not a person who has access to venture funding capital like that. So there are people who have access to kind of venture capital. That's a different situation. But if you are a normal person like me and you don't have access to OPM other people's money, and you don't have the millions of dollars in the bank, okay, yes, do I think I could create a superior online dating app that could do very well? Yes, I do, but I don't have the money, so I'm not wasting my time thinking about it. Until I have millions of dollars sitting in the bank, then maybe I'll be, okay, well, maybe I'll consider it at that point. But until then, I'm not going to waste any sleep over it. Instead, I started writing books because, again, I can write for free. I can do that for one without a single penny. It is a time-intensive thing. So you need to be realistic. A lot of people have good ideas for businesses. A lot of people like, oh, I want to do this thing. I want to start this business. I can make such a good restaurant. It seems like restaurants are really popular ones. But unless you have the money to fund what you want to do, you need to pick something else. Because at the end of the day, we're trying to make money here at the Beast Army. So you may be passionate about one thing, but sometimes you have to go do something else and make your money first. And then you can come back to the initial thing that you're passionate about, but you couldn't afford, where it had a large base, it had the audience, you just didn't have the funding to get into it. You need to go do something that is time intensive, make the money, and then come back later and do what you're passionate about. So I hope this has helped. And until next time, guys. Crap, I didn't think of a closing slogan this time. So,